Today's topic is capacity. I want to start with an example of a young man who was jumping into a job, and as he started that job, suddenly he wasn't able to attend class, and he was skipping here and he was skipping there. That person had not held a job for literally years, and for him to step into just holding a job, that was just about all of the capacity that person had. He was sleeping a lot. He was missing other kinds of things. He was being forgetful. And a lot of times what happens with people, we end up being very critical of them because it's like, wow, look at you. You're forgetting this. You're missing that. And we don't have the right perspective. We don't understand that a jump in capacity is going to rob from other kinds of areas. I personally have been fighting that fight. The demands that have been on me lately in terms of producing material and doing the videos and doing all the different things that we're doing, those demands are much higher than they have been. And then I look at the program and we have more people and we're dealing with more complex, more intense stuff. And what I've found for me is that meant that I've been incredibly tired and I've been going to bed just exhausted night after night. And I've been tempted during that period of time to say, what's wrong with me? And part of it, it's COVID. I had COVID. I'm having exhaustion from that. And that could be part of it. But as I've looked at it and prayed about it, one of the things that I believe God has been speaking to me is, hey, I'm pulling you forward. I'm stepping you into some new areas. You're doing new things. So you're being tested in these other areas. You're more tired than normal. It's okay. Breathe. God's saying, I'm trying to grow your capacity. I'm trying to grow your ability to deal with life and deal with some of these complex things. Many times we don't give ourselves that grace. We don't understand that when I take this big step over here, some of these other things will suffer. Now, it's not okay for them to suffer permanently. In fact, in terms of people growing and developing, there are baselines. There are things that you establish and you get to a certain level. That baseline hopefully needs to stay in place. But can there be a temporary stepping back from a baseline? And the answer is yes. So I grow into one thing. I've got that developed. Maybe I've developed my quiet time and I'm reading and studying and I try to develop my prayer life a little bit more, or I'm attending a Bible study, or I'm adding new things. When you add new things, many times it is reasonable to realize that, okay, this one's going to have to step back a little bit or adjust a little bit. What you need to look at the total picture. God wants to grow us. And part of that growth is, all right, how do I increase my capacity so that I can do more? When parents have more kids, they have to increase that capacity. They can't just okay, I'm going to discard the first child because now I have a third child. No, you increase your capacity. You figure out ways to make it all work. And that's what God is doing with all of us all the time. He wants us to continue to grow, step into new places, be able to be the person that He wants us to be. That's part of what I call adulting sometimes. God wants you to grow into that place, to be a life giver to others. Capacity is part of the picture. Don't get discouraged. Don't get down on yourself. It's all a part of His plan. Take the next step and keep it going.
Video production, editing, and audio by Matthew. Set design and setup by Ashley. Content recorded live at Studio 104.